Okay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's podcast. My name is Tom Borg, and we have a very special guest with us. Her name is Donna Cercone. Donna, I'd like to just introduce you, and why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and your business?
Hi, my name is Donna Cercone of Cercone Learning, and I have been in education for maybe since many were born. I started teaching in junior high, self contained classroom, and I had to start when you have 45 seventh graders facing you. At that time, there was no choice, it was a private school. I had to find what would work. And I realized the first paradigm that everybody wants is fairness and respect. So I set my paradigm on fairness and respect. And then I started researching what would make learning fun. You've got 45 seventh graders, bored faces facing you for a whole year. It's not fun. And I love learning. I love reading, and I wanted to impart that. So I started creating techniques that would make learning fun. And it was amazing. It was heaven on earth. The seventh grade boys came to me and said that they did not want school to end. When seventh grade boys do that, you know you've done something. Then, when I left the educational field, and I worked also with trying these experiments out with gang leaders, with business people, I needed to know where and if it would fall apart and why. And then it dawned on me we humans on this planet, there's nobody on this planet that does not deal with the human brain. But how much do we know about it? There's more and more research going into that. But do the teachers have courses in college in what the brain needs, not what their opinion is, but what the brain needs? Has there been experimentations done? So I started experimenting. And then I'm a musician also. I was very frustrated with my music. And I look at results. Am I getting the results that I want? Very results orientated and logic. If I make a financial investment and I'm not getting results, I'm out of there. But in education, we're not getting the results, but we're not out of there. Now, in music, how many people on this planet have taken, and let's say this planet, United States, have taken some kind of music lessons in their childhood? Tom, what percentage can play today?
Uh, n- Not many.
Okay.
I'd say probably what, less than 10%?
Okay. So if 60, 70% of the people on this planet took reading lessons,
Hmm.
and later on in life, 10% of them could read, is that a good investment?
Not a bit.
Something is wrong somewhere. And I was so frustrated with my music, I almost walked away because I go, I am not willing to invest a whole bunch of time and not get the results and being told that I'm no good at music when I felt it inside. And being an educator, I started looking at, is it the methodology? And it hit me like a ton of books. It was the methodology. We, if you teach reading, if I'm going to learn a foreign language, Tom,
Yeah.
I got to start with a different alphabet than ours.
Mm-hmm.
I got to start with the alphabet. I have no choice.
Hmm.
Music, the alphabet is the notes. I have to do phonics. When they took phonics out of the reading system, reading problems. We have to do phonics in a foreign language. No choice. In music, it's ear training. Well, then you take the alphabet, you put them together to form words. What are the words in music? Chords, intervals, and scales. Well, then you're trained to learn how to spell the chords and the correct grammatical structure. Well, in music, in the Cercone method, We teach the spelling of chords, and we color analyze by grammar, musical grammar. If I don't have grammar, I can throw the cow over the hay some fence. I might,
Hmm.
a sentence there, illogical sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Then you put the words together to form a sentence. And in music, the sentence is a phrase.
Mm.
And then you've got the story, and in music, you've got the song. Then I had to go further. How does the brain learn? What is the easiest way I could get this information into the brain where I'm utilizing all 4 or 5 modalities at the same time: hearing, speaking, feeling, kinesthetic. I did gave you the auditory. I found a system where I utilize all of those simultaneously, and that is powerful. Now, we are dealing with geniuses, but we haven't been treated like geniuses. We don't know how it works. If I don't know how an engine works, how in the heck am I going to repair it?
Right.
It's an impossibility. And if you don't take someone and apprentice them to someone who knows how to build an engine, and this person has never had any education in physics or science, what are they going to do?
Not much.
So, if the teachers haven't been given the tools of the brain, now how does that affect business? The same way. What are you working with?
People.
The brain,
Yes, people's brain.
emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't have the emotional environment, the psychological environment, it's going to affect your bottom line. Efficiency is gone. Give you a couple of examples. One nurse was in charge of scheduling residents,
Mm-hmm.
and they were always calling her, when's my schedule? What's this? When's my time off? She assigned in a hospital a specific color to each resident, doctor resident, and purple was their time off. She no longer got, the only phone call she got after that was not what's their schedule, but could they have more purple time?
Hmm.
They talked in color.
Mm-hmm.
So, what does the brain see first? Color, shape. Can't avoid it. Now, a gentleman one time was colorblind, and he had been at a meeting with me and some other people, and I happened to meet them again, and this guy said to me, "Oh, you're the one that wore the burgundy dress." And the colorblind person said, "Is that how you remember?" Yeah, she had this beautiful dress on, burgundy. But what came first? Color.
Mm-hmm.
Now, marketing knows you have to use color. And if I have my facts correct, I think, and we need to research this further, but I think Campbell's Soup, when they first came out, had green labels on their cans.
Hmm.
Didn't sell. Green food can mean mold.
Hmm.
You want soup to be hot, right? So you got to use red.
Hmm.
When the minute they changed the color to red, the soup sold.
Hmm.
So offices many times are done in colors that are not conducive to productivity or learning.
Hmm.
Now I'm going to go back to the educational field because that's where I come from. I
Mm-hmm.
was invited to a junior high school here in Denver, and I was talking to the principal, and randomly in the middle of this conversation, he interjected a sentence that at first didn't make any sense to me. He said, "Oh, we're really proud of our students, how quiet and well behaved they are on the stairway." And then he went on with something, and I didn't know where to put that sentence. So then we started walking upstairs. We walked up the stairway. I wasn't paying attention to my surroundings. I was talking.
Mm-hmm.
Went down the corridor, and I noticed within myself, the further we got in the corridor, I was starting to tense. the inner tension alerted me to start observing. The walls were orange and the lockers were a darker orange.
Oh boy.
Orange is not a learning color or a calming color.
Mm.
I walked into the classroom and my mouth dropped. The walls were a sick avocado green.
Boy.
And I went, how can they learn here? We walked back down the corridor into the stairway. And when I got into the stairway, my body alerted me. I went, ah. And I looked around. The stairway was a soft blue. And I went,
Wow.
wonder the kids are quiet on the stairway. They had so much tension coming at them, and all of a sudden their body could relax. Oh, color doesn't do that. Really? If you read Dr. Dinja, I think it was in the early 1900s. I don't have my timeline on that, but he wrote a
Hmm.
book called Let There Be Light. He was healing through color. Naturally, his books were confiscated and destroyed. He surmised that a burn patient had too much red, correct?
Mm.
Red is burning is red.
Yeah, right.
Well, so he went to the color wheel. The opposite of red is green. So he took a green filter, put it over the light, didn't bandage them, let them be under, and they healed without scars.
Wow.
He surmised a jaundiced baby has too much yellow. The opposite of yellow is purple. Same thing. A blue baby has too much blue, give him orange.
Mm.
He had amazing results with color, but of course it affected the pharmaceutical industry and people, so it was pretty much destroyed. But you can still find his book, Let There Be Light.
Hmm.
Amazon, I think, by Dinsha, spelled D as in David, Insha.
Hmm.
So when I read that book, I went, well, if it works for healing, would it work for learning? Which would be a logical assumption. Well, it works here. Can it work here?
Hmm.
And I purchased a spotlight. I was teaching piano. I purchased a spotlight and I bought some colored filters. And I asked my students if I could experiment. And I projected colored light on them. And when it was the color that worked for them, you could see their body visibly go, oh, and they played better. Now, I'm not understanding what's going on yet.
Hmm.
But one boy gave me the answer. He said, with this certain color, he could really play. He goes, oh, with that color, it feels like my hands are finally connected to my brain.
Wow.
And I went, oh, that's what's going on. Color is a frequency. If something is disconnected in the brain like this, we get the right color, it creates a connection. After a while, you don't need the color because you have the connection.
Hmm.
Now, this is another interesting thing. And again, you go to business. Is your business inviting? I walked into a clothing store that I used to love to go into. It was warm, it was welcoming. Hadn't been there for a while. I walked in back there. I looked around and I walked out. All the walls were white. It was cold. I did not, and I will not shop there. I said, well, display, it shows everything off better. I said, no, it didn't. It made everything look sickly.
Hmm.
Nothing. I was shocked that someone in the business realm would not have done more research to find out what color keeps the customers in the store longest.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Because you want people to shop, right?
Right.
And what color pushes them out? Oh, that's not important. Color is kindergarten. No, it's life. So
Hmm.
you walk into an office, they have What kind of desk do they have? What's their surrounding? Is there any beauty? Beauty opens the brain.
Yeah. Typically it's gray, isn't it? Gray,
Yeah, and how do you feel?
kind of down, just
I gotta be here. I gotta do. It's not. I'm
yeah.
excited about doing this job. I want this company. This is much I gotta do. I'll just finish my stuff here. Typically gray, beige, or brown.
Mm-hmm.
You can see my colors again in the studio.
I do.
Everybody, I have yet to find one student or parent come in here who doesn't stop and go, "Wow." They feel welcome. They feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
Like to come in here. The purpose of this place is to make learning easier, and it is. Why? The color provides environment. Everything on this planet needs environment. I don't care.
Mm.
Plants, trees, nature is part of the environment. We take it away, we die.
Mm.
Does it affect business? Highly. Even the organization in business. One gentleman who had taken one of my workshops, they had some kind of tool, something like Ace Hardware, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of little tools. They
Mm-hmm.
finally color coded their aisles. And somebody would say, "Where is this?" "It's in the blue aisle." Guess what? They'll find it much faster.
Mm. Yes.
Or this one's in the red. They can put it back. They can also retrieve it faster.
Mm.
The color, the brain sees color first. Can't help it. And shape. The brain, we never say, "Oh, that's so and so, and that's what they look like." We say, "Oh, that looks like so and so."
Mm.
The first time I saw a Lamborghini, I was driving. I'll never forget this. I was driving and I saw this strange looking car coming toward me. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember very clearly, I went, "Oh my God, what was that?" And then I thought, "Don, you got to watch the road." The shape. I didn't have a name for that shape. So the first thing I wanted is, what is that? I need a name. So shape and color is the first thing. When you put the right color in, the next thing you affect is the psychological aspect. You're caring, you're thoughtful. You're not just saying, "Oh, gray is good enough. It's good enough for me. It was good enough for you. Let's go."
Mm.
You did some thought. You make them feel better. When they feel emotionally safe, they will produce better. Emotionally and psychologically safe, they will produce better. So it works very strongly in business. Color coding schedule. I had worked with the Denver National Bank when it existed with the president and top vice presidents. And after they took the workshop, the secretary said to me, the president came out, created a colored schedule. Green time was appointment time. And the president said he overheard the secretary one time saying to a phone call, "I'm sorry, he doesn't have any green time left."
Huh.
Working with was easy to see,
Yeah.
so much easier to see. So if you go back to education, oh, and businesses, how many businesses print out material, textbooks? Carol, would you please bring me some of the books we've written, sound book and all those books? I'm going to show you some of my books that I've written here.
Mm-hmm.
They're all in black and white.
Yeah.
Interesting, right?
Mm.
Who wants to read them?
Not many people. They're boring.
So you're losing time in training.
Mm-hmm.
It's money.
Mm-hmm.
You're losing time and interest. That's all money. I'm going to show you my books.
Hmm.
These are our music learning books.
Oh my gosh.
Everything is in color.
Yeah. Wow.
Another book. So we tell them, go get the green book. They can find. So we show how music works with the color wheel.
Huh.
The book of sound. In Search of Sound took me 40 years to write this book.
Wow.
But you see the color?
Mm-hmm.
There is no page in this book that has a background of white.
Wow.
Why? Hard.
Yeah.
The color of this color.
Mm-hmm.
You can, and you can see this book
Mm-hmm.
and how we have
Wow.
differentiated how learning works.
Hmm.
Now, when you look at these books, what are you thinking, Tom?
Looks like a lot of fun to read. It looks inviting. It looks like the information there just jumps out at you. What's on each one of those colored sections?
Exactly. Now, I want you to picture this book in black and white.
Yeah,
You would look at it and say, yeah, I'll read it someday.
I've got a music book like that in black and white.
Oh, colored music, Carol. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
going to show you our colored music in just a moment. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to read it.
No.
Someday never comes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that important. Now we color analyze our music. Turn your down. Can you see
Mm-hmm.
that?
Yeah, I can. Mm-hmm.
Why?
Hmm.
I may have colored everything. Oh, I need one that's black and white. She's everything colored in here, but I'm gonna get you one that's black and white
Uh-huh.
and let you see. Okay, here where's it going? Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
where I gotta make sure you can see both. Where does your eye go?
To the right, to the color at a sidewalk cafe. That
Oh,
music sheet.
which
Yeah.
one? Which one looks easier?
The colored one. Absolutely.
If this was the same song,
Hmm.
you would say they're not the same song. One mother looked at the colored music and she goes, "Oh, that's easy." So I pulled the same song, non-colored, and put it next to the colored one. She goes, "Well, that one's hard." And I looked at her and said, "It's the same song."
Yeah.
So if you're looking for bottom line productivity, you have to look at what's affecting your workers,
Mm-hmm.
what's drawing your clients in, what makes your
Mm.
clients feel, "Oh God, I love shopping at that store."
Mm-hmm.
I used to like shopping at Nordstrom's. Colors changed.
Hmm.
And the other store, I used to love, as I shared with you, the colors of all white on the old background store. I
Yeah.
so cool. I'll never forget that day. I walked in and I went, "What?" I looked around and I went, "I'm out of here."
Mm-hmm.
And I've never gone back.
Right.
I used to shop a lot there. Restaurants. You know of any restaurants that are done in white and gray?
No.
Why not?
They
Would you
must
want
have
to go
figured it
eat
out.
in a gray restaurant?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Thought about
Yeah.
it, right? What about a restaurant that's all beige and brown?
No. They've got color schemes going on in those restaurants.
Could affect,
Walls have paintings. They've got all kinds of things.
and many times it's warmer colors, right?
Yeah.
Why? The restaurant wants you to feel welcome.
Mm-hmm. Creating
And
an atmosphere.
yes,
Cozy.
atmosphere. And
Mm-hmm.
you go to these top class restaurants, oh, the atmosphere is elegant.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you like, oh, I'm in a special place.
Mm-hmm.
Affects the digestion, affects how often you're going to come back. If you're going to invite somebody else back.
Mm-hmm.
We would never put a restaurant in gray.
Hmm.
Anybody who would do that would go out of business.
Yeah.
But we do it in our offices.
Mm-hmm.
Beige
So
walls, gray, cold. And another thing that's very interesting to me, which most people don't notice, you have flat latex color, semi-gloss, and high gloss, right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Flat latex for me takes my energy.
Mm-hmm.
Semi-gloss reflects energy back to me. I feel much better.
Mm-hmm.
Semi-gloss, fine, tiny point. But isn't it the tiniest environmental factor that helps a plant achieve its full potential?
Sure.
So if we're looking at business, what is on a quotation subtle level, because you're not consciously aware of it, affecting your bottom line and you don't even know it?
Mm-hmm.
What tools of the brain could you use to increase the organization, to increase employee efficiency, their desire to be there, their happiness, which is going to affect the customer, which is going to affect your bottom line?
Mm-hmm.
And in education, same thing. The
Mm-hmm.
teachers point their finger and say, you have a learning problem. They don't.
Mm.
We have a teaching problem. Now, the other thing that works in, which you heard in my mega learning,
Mm-hmm.
the voice. What did you think of that part, Tom, when you heard about the voice?
That's extremely important. I know with your program, the way you speak is very engaging and it's very animated and very, it just makes you want to listen.
Makes you want to listen. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so if I go into a classroom and say, okay, hurry up now. We have a lot to cover today, so let's get going.
Sounds pretty stern, pretty fast, and
What's going to happen to the mind?
starts to shut down.
Exactly. Okay, we have a lot to cover today. So take out your paper and pencil and let's go.
Yeah, much better, much
Okay, you
more
go into a
engaging.
business meeting. You give them black and white handouts,
Mm,
black and white pens. Okay, let's get everything covered. Let's go. We got this and that. What's the productivity level?
not good.
Not good.
Lower than it should be.
Mhm. Okay, hand them out information on colored paper. Well, color is not professional.
Hmm.
And I looked at the person and said, says who? If it's efficient, helps the employees, and affects your bottom line, it's professional.
Mm-hmm.
Who made the statement that we bought carte blanche? Color is not professional. One woman said to me her boss was on vacation. She had been to one of my workshops. She knew when he came back, he'd have a stack of. So she put her thing on a she chose bright pink. Why? I don't know. And she said her boss would saw the pink paper and pulled it out first.
Mm-hmm.
She got dealt with first
Huh.
because he was attracted. Who wants to see a stack of papers like this? White papers, income taxes. I don't know how accountants do it seriously.
Mm.
Everything is white and black. So many people who start using color. For me, it's a fascination
Mm-hmm.
because the brain fascinates me. Uh, Achieving potential fascinates me. Learning a song faster fascinates me. More success fascinates me. More ease, more elegance.
Mm-hmm.
I've had enough struggle, Tom, in my life. I really don't care to repeat that paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Makes total sense.
Okay.
Yes.
So the voice is also critically important. And if the voice, which takes training,
Mm-hmm.
is used appropriately, there's less arguments. Now, someone says, how did you train your voice? I said, I used to be the world's fastest talker.
Hmm.
But then one day I decided to do a harebrained idea. I was sitting in a restaurant. I had been developing this method and I sort of talking to the universe, like, what's my next step? And on the inner, I heard a voice say, do a year's worth of piano lessons in one weekend. And I went, what? And then I went, why not?
Hmm.
Harebrained idea, right?
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Could I do it? Well, I knew I had studied some Dr. Lozano things. If you have ever heard of a Georgia Lozano, from Bulgaria.
Yes. Hmm.
I knew I absolutely could not do it using the regular voice. So I had 25 adults at the first workshop. I took them on a magic carpet ride to Musicland, and they loved it. Then we were going along really nicely. And about 5 minutes before lunch, I was pacing. I call it pacing. To do it, Tom, you pronounce your consonants. I'm going to sidetrack here. I'm going to go. I am going to go. You hear the difference?
Hmm.
The first one went, second one, oh yeah, I heard you. Okay.
Hmm.
So I was pacing, everything was going beautifully. And 5 minutes to noon, I thought, well, maybe they need to hear from another teacher. So I handed it over to him for 5 minutes. Worst thing I could have done.
Mm.
In less than 2 minutes, every brain in that room was shut down. I saw faces go down. People, I could feel thoughts of, I shouldn't be here. This is too hard. I'll never get this. I'm too old.
Hmm.
I went to lunch by myself. I did not know what to do. I prayed.
Hmm.
When I came back, I did what I call ultra pacing. It's almost sing song. They came back, Tom, discouraged faces, sort of, I'll finish this thing up and then I'm out of here.
Mm.
I took them back to the music room and I created the story of the hang. They're walking across this courtyard, and my voice is going modulating up and down because music highly, the right kind of music highly affects the brain.
Mm.
Was putting my voice into the musical modulation.
Hmm.
And I took him across the courtyard to see this strange looking room. And it was called the hang up room.
Mm.
And when you looked inside, there were pegs on the wall and people hanging on the pegs. And I was even modulating more than I am now.
Hmm.
And one peg was called This is Too Hard. Another peg was called I'm Too Old. Another peg was called I Have No Talent. I just went,
Mm. Wow.
and I said, the interesting thing about this is if you don't want to be hung up, reach behind yourself and unhook yourself.
Hmm.
And Tom, it was amazing. You could feel people unhooking themselves. I had the class back, and I think that's my first breath
Mm.
since that happened.
Hmm.
During break, the people said, "Oh, thank you for that story. Thank you. I was on this peg," and they were laughing and telling each other. The other one said, "No, that was on this peg." They were sharing that. They went out to get a coffee or whatever. The teachers came in and they said, "That was the funniest thing we've ever heard." We were laughing like crazy out there. I said, "Yeah, I saw you."
Mm.
How come nobody was laughing in here? And I looked at them and I was upset. I go, "This guy shut the brain down of every one of these students and did not even see it."
Mm.
So I looked at the teachers and I said, "Because it wasn't funny," and walked out of the room.
Huh.
We don't understand. And we've never had training in the importance of these things.
That's right.
So we think it's not important, but it's critical. And it's like a doctor having no training but goes in for surgery.
Hmm.
They have to know everything, what's going to affect our lives.
That's right.
Well, in education and business, it's our financial life, it's our mental and emotional life, it's the life of accomplishing our dreams.
Hmm.
It's as serious as a medical doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Making sense?
Making sense. So, Donna, say as a business owner, if a business owner had a team of maybe, I don't know, 10, 20, 30, 40 people, and they had their own office, what what recommendations did you make to them to help their offices become the type of a colorful environment that it would be productive and helpful for their emotional and mental health?
Step one,
Uh-huh.
first place you go, look at the walls, look at the carpet.
Mm-hmm.
What beauty do you have in there? Now, first of all, red, yellow, and orange are not learning colors or business colors.
Mm-hmm.
They are not mentally productive colors. They are
Mm.
physical activity colors. You put them in a gym,
Mm.
not a classroom.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different activity. The color needs to support the activity that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
What are the learning high productivity colors? The cool spectrum, if you understand, that would be moving toward the greens, mint green, not yellow green. Mint green, blues, lavenders, purples, roses, pinks.
Mm-hmm.
So you choose. Now, if you notice in this room, we have a lot of teal.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
I balance it with a warmer color because
Mm-hmm.
teal is a cool color.
Mm-hmm.
And I have, you can't see it, but in another room, I have gold,
Mm.
metallic gold.
Mm-hmm.
And it's striking.
Mm.
It supports the person. That's the first place I'd start. Then on their desks, if they like a bouquet of flowers, put it there.
Mm.
If they don't.
Mm-hmm.
What do they need? Beauty opens the genius mind.
Mm.
Ugliness shuts it.
Mm.
Okay. Second thing, if they have music playing, be cognizant of what kind of music. There's many times I've called to a business place
Mm.
and I'm put on hold. And the music, sometimes I hang up.
Mm.
I don't want to listen to this. Now, Dr. Lazanov has found that music at 60 beats per minute helps to open the genius mind. Why? Why does the sun help a plant grow?
Mm.
Follow what I'm saying? But it's a
Yeah.
frequency.
Mm-hmm.
I've created a CD or HB3 now, whatever, called Hearts of Peace. The whole thing is at 60 beats per minute.
Mm.
One veterinarian, 10 years later or more, uses that music for every surgery she does. When I
Wow.
heard that, I went, wow, what are the results? I want results.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she goes, the surgery goes so much easier. I'm relaxed. The animals are relaxed. And then she said the part that absolutely fascinated me. The animals wake up easier with less pain.
Mm.
And I went, wow.
Wow.
Okay. Another woman had just purchased the CD, and her son has her brother has grand mal seizures.
Boy.
Lives with his mother yet. So
Mm.
she walked into the house, and those seizures usually last for 2 hours.
Oh boy.
He walked into the house, he was just starting one, and he would bang his head on the wall and
Oh
scream.
man.
She ran into the car, got the CD she just purchased, put it on. In 5 minutes, he was coming down. 10 minutes, the seizure was gone.
Wow.
We put that music in a classroom. The cover of the CD is purple.
Uh-huh.
And the kids will say, can we have more purple music today?
Hmm.
They refer by color.
Sure.
It calms the kids down. What do they listen to today on commercials, on their video games, everything? It's hyper music.
Hmm.
Put the kids into high beta brainwaves. Now, high
Mm-hmm.
beta is not learning and it's not productivity. alpha is.
Mm.
And you're wondering what affects your productivity, gotta understand this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but Donna's not important. Well, that's, yeah, I've been told that so many times. It's like, whatever.
Huh.
Is that making some sense?
Terrific. So Donna, if our listeners wanted to get more information about how they could improve their business, what are some of the tools that you have to offer to them, and where would they go to get, purchase that?
Well, first of all, I I've mainly been focusing on developing the tools for the music because businesses haven't been interested in this.
Mm-hmm.
So what I can easily do is start developing the tools or come in and speak for them and show them what to do. A walk through their office, for example, a medical doctor after
Mm-hmm.
her office. Okay. She worked in her office, excellent doctor. And she said, but Donna, patients don't listen to me.
Hmm.
And I don't like to stay there much. So one day I walked into her office and I about fell out of my chair. The walls were chartreuse green,
Green. Oh my goodness.
chartreuse green, that lime green.
Uh-huh.
And I went, medical? And I said, no wonder. So she was moving offices and she asked me to decorate it.
Mm.
So I got her taste, not mine.
Mm-hmm.
It's her office. What does she like? She gave me
Mm-hmm.
her taste. She was going to the Philippines, gave me her credit card,
Mm-hmm.
rated her office. She came back, she cried. It was so beautiful.
Wow.
And results, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta have results.
Yeah.
The patients listened to her and took their medication better. Now tell
Huh.
me how that works.
Wow.
And some patients, she said they came in with oxygen masks and would look around like this and go, oh, this is so pretty. She liked working there. She was more productive, got her charts and everything done just because of the decor. So that's the first place I would start. Second place I would start is what are your training manuals like? And
Mm.
what is your training like? How fast is your speaker presenting things?
Mm.
Let's start with that. What's your environment? Is your environment nurturing? Or do they have to struggle? Now, somebody said, well, struggle is inherent in human nature. And nature, I said, no, it's not. Tom, did you ever see a tree or plant achieve its full potential if it struggled?
No.
What about us humans?
Same thing.
Same thing. So you want productivity in your business?
Mm.
Number one, your employees and you.
Mm-hmm.
How is your environment supporting you? How is it supporting your clients,
Mm-hmm.
your employees?
Yeah.
Number two, do your customers want to come back and refer a lot of people?
Mm.
Oh, you gotta go there. It's really a neat place.
Mm-hmm.
Or can you refer somebody when you've just, nah, I can't think of anybody? So this is not important. It's fine. They can think that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that to nature. It's not important to have rain. It's not important to have sun.
Hmm.
Or you can shut it off. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Think of struggle. What it does to nature does the same thing to humans.
Absolutely. Wow. All right. Well, Donna, I'll tell you what, I know we're just about out of time, but if people want to get a hold of you, they want to contact you to help their business, the services you could help provide to them, what would be the best number for them to reach? And maybe your website and
The website
yeah.
is cerconelearning.com. Now, the Cercone is spelled with a C, ERCONE learning.com.
Mm-hmm.
Our studio phone number is 303 552 0398.
Excellent.
The best place to reach us.
Okay.
Or if you don't mind, contact you and send it over.
Yeah, absolutely. If they want to contact me, I'll send them right over to you. But this has been outstanding, Dana. I know that the work that you've done over the years has produced such amazing results. I'm a student of yours as well, going through the mega learning program. I just love it and the things it's opening my eyes to, literally, with the color filters and everything. I tell you, it's groundbreaking work, and I just know that what you've done is amazing, and what you can do for those who wish to reach out to you could be just as amazing, if not more.
Thank you very much, Tom. And it's a pleasure to meet you and be here and share. I get sort of passionate about it.
Yes, you do. Thank you so much, Donna.
Thank you, Tom.